Is it hard to form an LLC? My name is Andrew Ayers. I'm a business law attorney with offices in Edina, Minnesota and New York City. And today we're going to talk about one of the most common questions I get when clients come to my office about creating an LLC. Now, there's a lot of complexity and there can be a lot of issues you have to go through in making this decision about should you form the LLC, should you look for a different type of corporate form. But when it comes to actually starting the process, not necessarily the legal work, but starting the process, you want to know what are those things you have to do. So there's going to be 4 things you have to do when you start your LLC. There's going to be more that we have to do after the fact. There's going to be other things that can make things a little complex at each step. But the fact of the matter is there's 4 things, and let's go through them real quickly so you know where to start. First thing you've got to do is you've got to file your documents with your state. So an LLC is a corporation. It's a company that's set up under the rules of your local state. Or if you're filing in a different state, it's set up under their rules. But regardless of where you choose to file your LLC, the most important step to have a legitimate LLC is that you actually have to file your paperwork with the state. You can't just say you've got an LLC and go running around operating a business, calling yourself an LLC, without actually doing the filing with the state. The second step you have to do, which is where I come into the process, is creating your business documents. Once you've set up that LLC, you've done your filing with the state, we need to do an operating agreement. About 15 pages long. It specifies who the officers are, who are the owners, who are the shareholders, what are their rights and obligations. We want to have a succession plan. What happens if somebody dies who owns the company? So we want that operating agreement to really be like the Bible, the thing that helps you run your business. The second is the initial writings of the organizer. That's the next business document we have, and that's one you're not usually going to prepare. The person who files your documents with the state of your choice is usually called the incorporator or the organizer, and there are certain documents that they have to fill out. And then the final type of business document that you have to create at the beginning is your initial resolutions. So corporate resolutions are a legal document that we create that says the business has decided to take X, Y, and Z courses of action. Some examples you'll run into: bank accounts. Many banks will want to see the tax ID number for your business and see a corporate resolution that business has decided to use Smith Street Bank as the bank for their business. You also need corporate resolutions appointing your officers. So if you have more than one owner of the LLC and one's going to be the president or the CEO, the COO, the technology officer, we want to have a corporate resolution appointing those top level positions. And then if there's other major decisions, if the business has to enter into a lease, we want a corporate resolution that says XYZ LLC is agreeing to lease the premises located at 123 Smith Street in Anytown, USA. Third step, get an EIN number. It's like a social security number for your business. It's called a tax ID number. And a lot of clients will get to this step and say, I don't know what to do next. How do I even get a tax number? You can talk to your attorney, you can talk to your accountant, or frankly, you can go to irs.gov. They have a very simple application that you can fill out. And when you fill it out online, you actually get a PDF within minutes that has the EIN number for your new business. And when we take step number 3, that goes right into number 4, which is open a business bank account. You get so many benefits from having an LLC. There's a lot of financial benefits, a way to have separate money from your personal funds, especially if you're renting out a property and receiving money from the tenant on a monthly basis. We want that bank account set up. We want it clearly defined LLC funds. And when you go to your bank, they're going to say, do you have your EIN? Which is sure, we took care of that in step number 3. They may ask for corporate resolutions. We took care of that in step number 2. They may ask for the filings with the state. Took care of that in step number 1. And the person who's going to come meet with you probably isn't the same person you usually see at the teller's desk. You're probably going to get the small business manager or the small business account executive of that bank, who will be happy to sit down with you and go through what the various business banking services are that they provide. And that bank is probably going to offer you credit card processing, maybe even some kind of a trust account. Depending upon the type of business you have, there can be a lot of different business accounts available to you once you've formally started your LLC. So you've seen these quick 4 steps. These are steps that you have to take when you create your LLC, and you don't have to have a lawyer for all of them. Obviously, going to the bank you'll do on your own. The EIN number, you can contact the IRS. But there are places in this process where it's important to reach out to a lawyer, to an accountant, work with your financial advisor to make sure everything's being done right. If you're ready to take those next steps, you can go to my website, andrewmayers.com. there's a red Schedule a Legal Strategy Session button on the main page. You can click that and be taken to my personal calendar and we can set up a call. I'll also put a link to the scheduling page in the notes to this video. Feel free to reach out, schedule a time, and we can talk about the next steps for you and your business and what are those best options for you.